All right, so we have another race winner video here. This time, once again, Mr. Dan Tufts here with his Group 5. This is actually fresh out of the track. He won the race literally 15 minutes ago, right, Dan? Dan is here.
Sir. Yes, Marco.
Dan is here, so we have him here at the studio, and we're going to talk about his car. So another great race. This is the second time that you win with this car, now with a different body, right?
Yeah, last year I ran a different body.
Was that the race that you won without crashing?
Yes, it
was the Group 5, right? That's why I have your name.
No.
Was it Can-Am?
The Can-Am race.
So we have the Can-Am video if you want to check out. We just sacked his Can-Am car on a video that you're gonna see.
And
I don't know if it's. I don't know. It depends on Carlos if it's on or not, but probably it's gonna be on. So probably gonna be. I think it's gonna be the next one because this one I want to be the first one we added. We have a little collection of videos that we need to put on. Then, so a little bit about this car. So this is the class, the Group 5 class. Those cars are developed by Group Racer Sideways from France. I think Carrera makes some of those Group 5s too, but we race the Sideways ones. They're more professional, more chassis plus pod type of cars. This is kind of a open class, but we can do some changes. We can change some stuff, and those cars, they run really, really great. Dan made the pole today at 6.2, and don't forget that those times are getting very close to the older times that we have when we have Magna braids on the track. So this makes a huge difference, and then this is the time to beat now. This is the track record, 6.2. Again, this is the way that the car finished the race. I have all the lane stickers. Dan doesn't take it off. He accumulates them here. This is the Lubri 10,000 livery. Originally, this car, it's a BMW M1, just to start. It's a BMW M1 from Racer Sideways Group 5. This is a special edition car because Racer Sideways made the original car, the car that actually raced, in blue, and he had a very specific run. I think it was like 100 units of each. And they have the yellow, have the orange, they have like a black one or a pink. I think there's like 5 or 6 different colors. They're sold out everywhere. If you have one that is not the blue, the original one, I think they made over 500 of those. But the color ones, they're super rare. If you have one, don't sell, don't give it away. It's a rare Racer Sideways car. So this is his car. Body is plain original, has his name on it, and he has his company Hot Mama Jams here as a sponsor. And we're gonna take a look on this car. And Dennis here is gonna chip in when I have my questions about the setup and when I have my questions about the parts specifically. So first thing is we're gonna check out the weight on those. Let's see how much this car weighs. And here we go. Right there here, and then we're gonna see how much it weighs. Right now the car is sitting at 82.5. Dan, is that a precision weigh, or is that something that you just try and go for it?
Well, it's based on the rules because it only can put the 2 slot weights in it, and that's what it has. So
the rule says that you cannot put lead weight around, but you can use the 2 SP43 weights, dog bone weights here on the pod. So that's what Dan did. So we have the 2 SP43s.
The only other thing would be the brass screws.
The brass screws, yeah. The brass screws add a little bit, and you can see he uses the metric screws. Are those slotted NSR or slotted plus?
Slotted plus.
Slotted plus.
And I also use NSR. But
NSR. What about those on the pod? What are those? Those are slotting plus?
Slotting plus, yes.
Okay, I never saw this before. All right.
I think the front one is... those.
Yeah, those on the pod.
Those on the pod.
So where did you steal those? Oh,
no,
God.
yeah. Well, when you start looking at brass screws on the internet, like I was like, oh, those look cool.
Those are aftermarket brass screws.
Yeah,
oh, God.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. It's illegal. Let's cancel it. No, it's not. Okay.
No, but they are tapered and they fit right in.
That's very cool.
I like it that it's an Allen. It's easy to take in and out.
Very tight.
And Slotcar racing.
Yeah, there you go. So another question that I have for you: this car offers you the option to have the pod mixed with just those 2 instead of 1. You went for one, triangular one. Is there a reason for that?
Well, I've had them both ways, and I ended up preferring this way. And I run that front center screw very tight. Yeah. And the reason I do it is I'm trying to really mimic where you put tape across the bottom of the chassis to, I guess, slow down the movement.
Yeah.
You know, kind of dampen the movement a little bit, since the tape is not allowed here.
Yeah.
And
It's
but
ugly,
when
it's ugly as hell. Come on.
Yeah, when I test the car, I always loosen it up and then I tighten it and I go around and I basically try the few different adjustments you can make, but I usually go back to the front is tight.
Very cool. So the guide is a slot invasion guide made for the slotted that serves the slotting plus chassis. Again, so screws, the pod movement we're going to talk about later, the tires and everything else. Now I'm going to just open up the car. Thank God I have a witness here. The owner's here, so I can open up and return it the same way.
Go for it.
Go for it. So here we have the NSR screws on front, and I think they're the same size on the back.
Yes.
I noticed that in a Can-Am car, here we go, here's the trick. So he has a spacer here too, in between the screw and the chassis. Then can you tell me a little bit more about the philosophy behind the spacers? Just to limit movement or what else?
It's so that if it's just the screw alone, you know, the plastic that it fits against is not perfectly flat, or if at some point it got over tightened, the surface can be gouged in. So I was running the little silver washers that they come with. But I actually ordered these. They were supposed to be exactly the same size. It's a M2, but the outside diameter is quite as large.
Okay.
So I tried it and it seemed to work good. So,
all right. Another thing that I see here is that you have all 5 screws on the pod, placed on the pod. Movement. You have some horizontal movement on the sides, but almost nothing in the back. Only like side play here.
It's side to side.
Right.
Really no up and down movement. I just try to keep it flat.
All right. And the cell phone's ringing.
Sorry about that.
So we have here little plastic tabs that you can use for this chassis to regulate the wiring. He's using the original slotted wire that comes with the racer sideways cars. And he uses, again, we showed this on his Can-Am car, a little piece of glue here. So every time that the car crashes, the guide comes back and facilitates to the work of the marshal. The guide is always straight. Some eyelets here, I think those are slotted. And then we can move to the gearing. Gearing, you're using like this big screw. I think it's an NSR 15 or 14.
13.
13, okay. And is there any reason that you put the other way around? Have the nipple out, or just like
because it's got an inverted spur gear on it.
Okay.
And just to make it
the angle
to make it like work.
So this is a 13, and what do we have on gearing?
The purple, the 27.
27, and that's kind of angle, and this is slotting plus, right?
Slotting plus inverted, yeah. You can use either, but the inverted seem to work very good.
You have some ball bearings here, very nice. Are those?
That's a single flange.
Single flange, but where did you get it? Get it here?
Yes.
From our
Yeah, it's just
the ABAC 7
standard single flange bearing.
We have some slotted wheels here on aluminum, and those are the 15.8 by 10, right?
Exactly.
The axle, I believe it's a hollow axle.
Yes.
All right, so super lightweight drivetrain here.
And I believe those tires have inserts in them.
The tires has inserts on it.
Yes.
All right, and those are the G25s, I believe, right?
Yes, they are.
Slotted G25s.
Yes, the G20, the ones we all love, love.
And the ones that we race on the slotted nationals, same compound. I don't know if those are the national tires, but those are the same compound. The difference between that set of wheels and tires is that he's using the insert with an air wheel with a foam insert on it.
The new is it Slotting Plus that came out with the new inserts?
That's very nice to use, right? Because they're ready to go, just pop in, right?
They have the ones that just pop in, and then they have the ones with the adhesive on it. I like them both. The ones with the adhesive, I'm going to keep trying both of them, but I kind of like the ones with the adhesive.
So there you go.
But they're both very good.
Carlos, can you make me a favor and put that part number on the video? All right. So the part number is right there if you want to try. Another thing that I noticed is that instead of gluing the weights, you use all the material that you have. there's like a brace that you could put on top of it. Same thing here. And he used another sets of brass screws. So he's trying to get all the weight possible on those pieces.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
I mean, every little bit, as Ian says, it's like a multiplier. Every little bit adds up.
Yeah.
And
So my question about the pod is that the half 0.5 offset. That's not the original. The original that comes with it is a black one, right?
Yes.
So this is the 0.5 or the 1 millimeter offset?
0.5.
0.5. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of questions here. So the tires, it's bare to the minimum. It's a slotted wheel. It's not independent because I don't think we allow.
No, that's not allowed.
Not allowed. He uses two spaces here so we can go around. Do you have any bushings inside?
No, your bushings won't fit.
Bushes won't fit.
They will not fit in there. It's just
so no bushings.
It's plastic against
axle. Smaller tires are possible. Remember, those are rotating weight. So if you're racing, if the rules doesn't say anything about it, just try to get the minimum out of it.
Right. The rule specifies the size of the front wheel.
The front wheel, but not the tire.
Yeah. So
is there any reason why I can see that those tires are a little conical to the end? So they only touch one side of it, or we're trying to make it flat?
Actually, when I did those, I had an issue with my tire truer, and the bearings were bad.
Okay.
And actually,
we can re-record that. We're not gonna redo the
well, I bought new bearings, so
I can redo the question. So yes, that's my new technique. I make conical tires. Okay. No, so you can see that's go a little bit over. We can put on the plate to see if it's touching. Right now I can see yes. So if you can see, I don't know if Scott's gonna ever find a way to show it, but here on the plate you can see that they're conical, so the inside is a little smaller and just the tip here touches it.
Yeah, you can see.
With a little light, but my eyes here, I can see that like 1/4 of this out of the tire is kind of a different color. So this is probably the ones that are touching it, and the rest is not touching. If it's not a trick, I think people should try it.
Well, I was just wondering how I could because that was the problem when you feed the tire into the wheel. The outer part ends up being larger because it pushes it out. So the inside of the tire is smaller. And I didn't realize that. I guess that's a set I did on that.
Yeah, and you can see if some light help, you can see that just the outside tip is touching.
Yeah. Well, that I don't know how I could replicate that now, but
well, keep the bad bearings.
I guess
so. Another thing that I noticed is that your car is on a proper racing position car. The back is taller than the front. I see some people doing the other way, putting the wheels on the bottom and putting the weight all the way to the back, so the car is pointing up. Some people say it's for more grip, but your car was just right, so it's perfect.
I've found, and from watching your videos and listening to other people, having it very flat, linear, and basically I put the front. I start with the front as the same as the back, and I do adjust it a little bit as I practice. But it usually goes, if it's 1 millimeter in the back, it's 1 in the front. Now with the non-magnetic braid,
you have more liberty to put up.
And actually you can run it a little bit higher with some wheels. With the air wheels, they get a little thin in the middle, so a little thicker tire seems to work better.
Another thing that I noticed is that your guide is planted, the back is planted, and the front wheels are barely touching, almost not touching. I think this is in the guide planted, and it makes the whole chassis straight.
Okay, put it on. Put it on 035 or whatever it's on there, because it's the deepest. Whatever, right, and then set it right in there, because that's pretty much what the track is right there.
Yeah, so you still have a room here if you put on 35.
Right, and because I've learned a little to have the guide up a little bit, and not put so many spacers in it to lower the guide.
But if you use the flat size to make it planted, when you have the 35, maybe the 35 is the 35 the distance that you want it.
Right.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool car, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Anything else you want to say? So you wanted $50 for it. That's great.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you let me keep the body, that's what.
Okay, good.
That's where the money's at, right?
Yeah, the money's on the body. But yeah, very cool car. Are you using hollow axles in front?
Yes,
right.
on this car, yes, hollow in the front and
Very
back.
cool chassis. Everything's flat. Nothing changes. Nothing moves when you press it.
Yeah,
car.
like I'm a real garage kind of mechanic on this. I don't have a lot of real technical tools. So other people,
sure. Just beat everybody up there, like for second time in a row.
Well,
yeah, my car is simple.
Well, it just is what it is.
Yeah, sure.
But, I don't have a lathe. I don't have I got a Dremel with a cord.
Yeah.
Okay. All my tools have cords.
That's
like,
220 straight to the pole.
That's right. So
then again, nice run, great car. We just did a video on your Can-Am, so it's probably going to be out when this is out. And this is incredible. Thank you very much for coming. I know that you come out from Escondido, and I really enjoy when you're here racing with us because your cars are perfect, and you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you very much, and it's taken a while to get to this point, and I've done it with a lot of help from everybody in the store. So thank you. And looking forward to the F1 Nationals.
Oh yeah,
the
Western
NSR.
Nationals. Yeah,
that is going to be one good race.
That's right.
Those open wheel cars.
It's gonna be fun, right?
There's going to be a few more dents in your walls.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Dan.
All right, thank you, Marco.